Confused about when to convert your RRSP to a RRIF? Waiting until 71 might be the default, but it could cost you thousands in avoidable tax. It's your favourite Scotsman here again, and today I'll walk you through the differences, the ideal time to convert, and a lesser known strategy that could save you enough in taxes to pay for a retirement vacation. Let's get stuck in with a couple of basics. What is the difference between an RRSP and a RRIF? Think of your RRSP as the saving phase. It's where you grow your retirement money while you're working. The RRIF is the pay yourself phase. It's what the RRSP eventually becomes when you start drawing income. What are the investments held inside the account? They can stay exactly the same. You're just switching the label from saver to retiree. And with that switch, the rules change. So, when do you have to convert? You're required to convert your RRSP into a RRIF by December 31st of the year you turn 71. Withdrawals start the following year, and there's a minimum amount you have to take out annually, calculated based on the market value of the account on December 31st and your age. So, 71 is when you have to convert, but when should you convert? A popular sweet spot is age 65. Why? Well, once you reach age 65, RRIF withdrawals qualify for the $2,000 tax credit for pension income. What exactly does that mean, Scotsman? Well, once you factor in both provincial and federal credits, it amounts to the equivalent of finding $400 in the street for an individual or about $800 for a couple. Over a 5-year period, that is potentially $4,000 or a retirement vacation paid for. It's important to remember this point. RRSP withdrawals don't qualify. It must come out of a RRIF. Top of that, RRIF income after age 65 is eligible for income splitting with your spouse. This can help bring down your combined household tax bill even further. And the best part, you don't need to convert your entire RRSP to benefit. Just moving $2,000 into a RRIF is enough to unlock the credit. As a quick side note, if you're not sure how this topic fits into your overall retirement plan, I've put together a free retirement guide that covers this and more. It's in the pinned comment below, it takes 2 minutes to grab, and it could save you a lot more than that in taxes. Okay, back to it. The benefits don't stop there. There's another reason to consider converting earlier, and that's withholding tax. Because here's the kicker. When you withdraw money from an RRSP, the government takes a cut immediately. There's a mandatory withholding tax starting with the very first dollar. But with a RRIF, the minimum required withdrawal has no withholding tax at all. So you get to keep more of your money up front and settle up at tax time based on your actual income. That means more flexibility and less of your cash sitting with the CRA as an interest-free loan in the meantime. And just to top it off, some financial institutions charge you a transaction fee when you take money out of an RRSP. With RRIFs, those withdrawals are usually fee-free because they're designed for income. Alright, so we've talked about age 71, when you have to convert, and age 65, when most people should at least partially convert. But what if you do retire early, say age 55 or 60? If that's you, the big thing to watch out for is the RRSP tax bomb. Little or no tax now might be a nice dopamine hit, but building up a monster RRSP can come back to hammer you later with big withdrawals, OAS clawbacks, and a massive tax bill when you pass. I've done a few videos on the subject already, so I won't go deep here. Just remember, a bigger RRSP isn't always better. Slowly draining it down over time can flatten out your tax bill and leave you with more in your pocket. The catch? Once that money's in a RRIF, you're forced to take out the minimum every year, whether you need it or not. That's why I often recommend a partial conversion. Move just what you need to stay in control. Before we wrap up, here are a few quick tips to keep in mind. These are the kind of things that if you're not careful can quietly bite you in the back. First, spousal RRSPs. If you've been contributing to one and you plan to draw income soon, make sure it's been at least 3 years since your last contribution. Otherwise, the income could be taxed back to you under the attribution rules, and that defeats the whole point of what you were trying to do in the first place. Second, forgotten RRSPs. Happens more than you think. Job changes, old group plans, and suddenly you've got 10 grand floating out there and no idea where it is or what it's invested in. Consolidate those accounts. Fewer tax slips, fewer headaches, and nothing gets lost in the shuffle. And finally, if your spouse is younger than you, you can elect to use their age when calculating your RRIF withdrawals. This means a lower minimum withdrawal, more tax deferral, and greater control over your retirement plan. So, There you have it, RRSPs versus RRIFs, when to convert and how to make the most of it. If you want help figuring out how to tie this into your overall plan, grab my free retirement guide if you haven't already done so from the pinned comment below. And if you want to see how to actually implement your RRIF drawdown strategy, this next video is for you.